Small talks. Small talks.
Small talks. Small talks. Small
Small talks.
Whoa, dude.
You were not expecting that?
No.
Okay.
Shaboom.
Ciao.
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 Tutto
Ciao.
bene?
Tutto bene?
Sì.
Tutto bene.
Grazie.
Okay, so this is gonna be like a different type of episode. And I'm so happy to do this episode. Thank you so much.
You're
Larkin.
so very welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Fla.
Hello.
So basically, this episode is gonna be you talking in English, Fla talking in English, and me talking in broken English, trying to keep up with you guys. So sorry if I.
I really don't know if my English is whole, but we will find a way.
For sure, is way more probably than mine.
I don't
Nope.
know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. Nope.
We'll see.
I think you're both great in English.
She's half.
but let's
Actually,
move on
let's
already.
move
Let's
on.
go.
Okay. So thank you so much for accepting. Say what? Accepting.
Do we have like a wiki?
No, I have this one. Like every time I messed up, I can do something like that. I don't know if it's a good idea. So basically, like I don't wanna set this episode like the regular one, like with many questions and stuff. I wanna feel like more like a conversation.
Cool.
If you agree with between us,
Yeah.
and we can talk about like international politics. No, I'm kidding. Like I hope we can talk a little bit about dance.
Great.
Actually,
Of course.
I'm gonna keep the first like question that is not a question at all. Same one for all the episode, and basically the first question is always I ask to my guests to introduce themselves. So instead of me introducing someone, I ask to my guests like, please introduce yourself. So
Cool.
if you want to start Fla or Larkin, same thing for me.
Same.
Best for last. I'll go first.
Hi. Hello, I am Fla.
Oh, I meant best for last. Like you're the best, not me. You should go last because you're the best.
Okay, so you go. Shaboom. Quello cercavo. Oh, wrong
Should I
language.
address the camera or you?
We don't care about it.
Oh my gosh. Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm Larkin Poynton Flaminia. I was born in the Basque Country. I grew up in Colorado. I'm a dancer and movement practitioner, and I try my best to be an artist. And yeah,
Okay, that's enough.
yeah.
Yes. Fla.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. No, stop doing this,
No.
please.
Hello, my friends. Hi, hello. My name is Flaminia. I am from Italy. I am movement teacher, developer, finder, interesting things with movement, and creativity galore in my life. Many things that I like, and they all join forces in dance for now, and who knows?
In the future.
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you once again. I was thinking about like starting with something very easy. I would try to give not a question, but like a hint to start a conversation. And I was thinking like the first probably topic I would like to talk about is like inspiration and creative process while you do what you do. I'm not saying while you choreograph, but like in general. Like, of course, we can talking about choreographing, but like in general, how it works, or like how you like to be your creative process in doing something. It can be like a competition, or it can be a showcase, or it can be, I don't know, a flash mob for a wedding. I don't know, anything. Like, I think it's pretty interesting to try to understand what's the starting point, if there is a starting point, and what's the end of the process. Because I think this is different for each one. for each person or each choreographer. And it's quite interest to see different point of views on this topic, probably. I don't know if I explain
Very
myself.
cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
Of course.
For sure.
And
You go
guys,
Yeah, I think my creative process happens in many different ways, just like anything. I think oh my gosh, it's always different. I think what I like most, or what kind of happens most for me, is just taking normal moments from life and normal experiences and really simple moments, honestly. I think like whether it's just like a conversation with my father or with my mother, or seeing someone walking down the street, just really simple ideas, really simple themes, I think inspire me the most. And taking those simple ideas and expanding upon them and developing them. That, and also I think something else that happens in my process is I'll see a piece in its totality, just almost like a blurry image. So I'll see a piece as a blurry image, or a show as a blurry image, and I'll work through the choreography from that. And when I create a piece in that way, I think I learn more about what the inspiration for the piece is later on in life. So I'll look back on a piece that I made in that way, and I'll learn about what the inspiration was for it, maybe like 2 years after I've made it. So, which I think is really specific to dance. Like, we move not always because we know why we're moving, but because it comes from somewhere inside of us, maybe a story or an experience that we don't know how to communicate verbally yet. And so I communicate it with my movement, and then months later, years later, days later, hours later, whatever, I'll learn about what the inspiration was for it, whether it was like a specific experience in my life or, specific interaction. But yeah, so sometimes the inspiration comes first, and sometimes I learn about what the inspiration is later on in life.
this is pretty interesting, actually. Like, I never watched the creativity process this way. It's like a reverse process, something like that. It's like really, really pretty interesting about it, like to know about this.
Yeah, I think dance is really beautiful in that way, because we make movement, or movement comes out of us, and we don't always know why we've chosen what we've chosen to do. And I think there's always reasons for it. It's like a dream. When you have a dream, you don't always know the meaning of the dream, but there's a sentiment in the background. And later on, we learn what that dream means, or what that movement means. Yeah.
I don't know why, like, it's coming into my mind, the concept of stream of consciousness somehow.
Yeah, sure.
And that, of course, is applied to speech usually. And because sometimes, like, we use, of course, speech as a form of communication. And of course, sometimes it happens that you talk and you say something because you don't think about, okay, I have to say this. It's like natural, no?
Yeah,
You want to talk and say something. And to think about dance the same way, I think it's like pretty damn cool.
Yeah. I think a lot has to happen before that. Like, if you talk about technique or vocabulary within your movement, I think like you have to have a lot of vocabulary and technique before you can just stream of consciousness make stuff, or not. I mean,
I guess nothing otherwise.
I mean, I guess it depends. You know, it depends.
No, of course.
Like, little kids will dance, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's so cool. And that's dope too. So I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was very cool. Yay. I love it. Okay, I think that for me, the key words would be like playing and instant, instant feels that come out. I really don't think much. And I actually am not really able to order things whenever I'm creating. So I would say there's like a mix of let me play around with this thing, whatever the thing is. And so with play, a lot of like instinct comes out. And I feel like that is a way that makes me feel lighter about whatever comes out.
Yeah.
Like it takes away the judgment in the moment that I create. And I think that is something that I like, not knowing precise where I want to go specifically.
Okay.
Because if I do know, something that could judge my things might come out. So I think that I chose this not really on a like rational level, but I think I chose this way for myself to feel freer while creating. So yeah, it's very playful and it's very fueled by the passion of saying something right away, in the sense that I'm a very talkative person, and I feel the same whenever I feel, I really want to speak about this, like right now, for example. And I feel like movement comes out of me, or whatever I'm doing, painting, singing, whatever, like even without a specific reason for it to come out, but it comes out in a very playful way. And it's a playful challenge in terms of there's some like competition feeling inside of myself to be like, I'm competitive with my playfulness. So there's something about the playfulness that wants me to make it more intricate or more twerky, in a sense that I don't know where it's gonna end, and it's like more difficult in some ways, but always in a playful way. So I think that even like the most difficult things that come out of me, they don't have a mentality of let me make it hard. It's really something that is like, what if I go here? What if I go there? And it's really, really very much light in a sense of trying to explain it in like a visual way. I had this conversation one time with Sean Evaristo that we all know, and I hope everybody knows. And he spoke about something that really clarified what I was actually doing. He spoke about this blob that he sees moving in his head when he creates.
Wow.
So there's like this, but I swear to God, when he said blob, I'm like, that's what it is. In my head, it was like, wow, that's exactly what
That's the word.
Yes, that's the word. I never asked myself if there was a word, but in that sense, I really see things like expanding in weird directions and the multiple possibilities behind a blob, because it's not, specific in any way. And it makes it really playful because the blob, it doesn't really know where it's going to go. And so that was a very cool concept for me to keep in mind, for it to expand wherever it wants. It's like a key for me to have forever continuous infinite possibilities, because it's something that it will never be defined. So any kind of
n dimension, so it doesn't have 2, 3,
any
4
kind of
n
thing.
dimensional
So any kind
stuff.
of music goes with a blob. Any kind of feeling goes with a blob. Any kind of communication goes with a blob. And
That's pretty cool.
And it's playful. If you look at it, it's this green, it really matches so much of what happens inside. So I would say that. And very, very fast moving. Like I don't think too much. Everything comes out really fast. Even like longer pieces that I choreograph, I never like take 2-3 days to create. I never debate. It's just whatever I need right now. So it's like if you move the blob and the blob goes, and it's like whatever it did right now, that's what's coming out.
Well, I'm on like the opposite side of the spectrum.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah. It like takes so much time to make stuff. And I feel like my blob has like more of a grid in it and like numbers and like it's more defined.
One time I remember I had this conversation with Jillian, and she spoke about this piece that we learned in class probably 15 years ago at this point. Epic. No, because this means like when I was so young, I already heard that there were so many possibilities to create, because I was in the room. My choreographer in that moment for the company that I worked for was same as me, like super fast, super like right away, idea now, do. And then she came in, she taught this class, incredible. We were all like shocked. And she said, it took me 3 weeks to choreograph this piece. Yeah. And I was like 19 and I heard about this other, what you just said, this other complete opposite approach for a piece, a 45-second piece,
Yeah.
3 weeks? What did you fucking do? My brain said like, what did you spend time doing? I couldn't even picture it. And then she explained that it's just all of a redefining. It's like when you draw a realistic portrait. It has like layers and layers and layers until the actual face comes out. So I was like, wow, we're so cool. We're so different. I love that we're all different.
Yeah.
I have a thought and a question about this. A thought is like, do you follow One Piece?
Yeah, I actually just recently started it.
Also, you don't know. No, so I cannot say.
Don't,
No,
please,
I will
please.
not say this. So
Please
I'm
don't.
sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot say this.
Don't
Okay.
spoiler.
But I have the question. Like that's they came into my mind when you were talking about like naturally, like create or using the blob to create stuff. Like, is it different for you if you have to choreograph for a client or you have to choreograph and create for yourself? Like it makes it different, or all you guys follow like, okay, this is my approach. Even if I'm working for a client who's asking me this kind of stuff, and there has to be like this A, B, C, D, or like I'm choreography completely free and I have no limit at all.
Yeah, my process is totally different depending on almost everything that I do. So I will choreograph specific for a class experience, or I'll choreograph or create specific for a video or a music video or a commercial, or for me, I feel like they're all very different.
So the approach is different.
Way different. Yeah, definitely. For me, I think because those different worlds they're like different mediums. You know, choreographing for stage is a completely different. There's a completely different necessity than there is for a class, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
of course.
No, that's why I was asking.
Yeah. I think
Exactly why I was
like
asking.
what I want to get out of those two experiences are very different, and the people who are involved too, right? Whether they're the dancers dancing on stage or the dancers dancing in class, like the intention and the goal for those two separate things is they're so vastly different. So I feel like creating the same way for both would be unhelpful for me and for the other bodies involved, you know, for me.
No, of course. Like I was asking like your opinion.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah.
Fla?
I think for me, it's like taking the blob as example. It's either the blob can move, as you said, in any direction, or whatever I keep in mind is not that the blob cannot be the blob, but that the blob is going to bump into things.
Yeah, like
So
boundaries.
those are like the limitations that each and
It's
every...
like putting like
Yes.
boundaries
So
around the blob.
if, for example, I think of staging, I know that for a live concert, I have to keep certain ways where the blob can move, but it's not that the blob is not there.
Yeah.
In that sense, it makes me, in terms of dynamics and quality of movement, it still stays natural as the blob, but it sometimes is limited by a line, for example.
Yeah, other
You know?
factors, right? Yeah.
So
sure.
I think about the blob in the line. So it's like, how would this move if it would move linear, or how would this move if it's 3 or 30 people? And what does it want to say? And does it actually say something or not?
Yeah,
And that, for example, is something that makes me move differently in terms of teaching or stage. Like that's a huge difference, because if there's like a specific technical task, I don't feel like the blob is moved by a specific emotion rather than the let's get this done, you know?
Yeah, right,
Like
right.
let me feel all of this technique in my body.
Yeah.
And it's very different if I think of, wow, I am feeling so emotional, and the blob moves differently. So I feel it's like, if you want to like see it visually, it's like the blob inside a square, or the blob in this specific shape on more bodies or fewer bodies.
That's amazing.
The blob.
The blob. Thank you so much for sharing this
Yeah.
with me.
This
and
episode
with
should
us.
be called The Blob.
The blob.
I will call it the blob. And I really liked the blob versus matrix like approach,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Well,
it
you
looks
said numbers, my brain said,
I think
I tried,
I think
but-
like I think that comes from needing to control the blob. Like my blob is so out of control that in order to like
Understand it
and like hold it,
Yeah.
I need tools and regulations and
I saw the grid when you were speaking about the grid. I was
like it's like goes through the blob and stuff, right? So I feel like for real, like I also have this like blob kind of feeling, but it feels a bit too much to control sometimes. So I feel like I need metrics.
You know that some students of mine really ask weird questions to me because they don't when it's like the first times that they come and learn from me, they don't understand the logic behind the blob. So they're like this or that. I'm like, it's whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, but it's how you got there.
Yeah.
Or like other ways of seeing it, they're like, this is very not ordered. And I'm like,
You're like,
yeah.
yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's the point. Yeah.
But also, you know, how much I struggle in order, for example. I think this is something that comes directly from my hating ordered things as a person. It's like rules and regulations.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do want to make it clear. I'm not like pro rules and regulations. I'm not
No.
that.
I would say you found a logic like behind your things.
Like I just want to find like a through line. You know? Yeah. Whether it's like with my method, like for teaching or moving, but also with like creating. Like it helps me to have that through line.
And it helps you like develop the concept.
Or else I'm just like the blobs just like you know.
Explode.
Versus for me, if I am teaching and I structure my class, it gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I have to get in there, see who's there,
how it
feel
feels.
the vibe, all of that. That sounds so, like.
No, I understand. I got you.
But it really is like that for me because I feel so crazy when I give structure to something that I know that doesn't come out of me like that. Like creatively, it doesn't really work like that in my mind.
I feel like the molecules of your blob are more like liquid, so you can like see it and see the form of it. And my blob's like gas, so it's like you can't really like see where the outside of it is. Yeah, so they're just different versions of blobs.
So cool.
Blob.
Sorry, guys. This is very interesting, apparently. It's taking time to
There
explore.
was a movie called The Blob. I think it was a horror movie or something.
Oh, no,
With-
no
I think
horror
it's-
movies.
I don't
for
know
me.
why I imagine your blob like this red stuff like moving. I don't know why.
Scary. It's the venom. It's actually
Okay.
the venom.
Anyway, like I'm gonna move forward.
Sorry.
To the
I
other
just
question,
yeah,
like-
sorry, my bad.
No, tell me.
I love the blob. It's cool.
But I think this is connected somehow to the blob.
Sure.
So I was thinking, you guys have for sure your artistic vision and your like artistic side, your point of view on what you're doing, your dance here with your dancers and stuff. Like, is it sometimes hard to transfer your artistic vision? Because like it happened that you works with people from Italy and then you work from people from US and then you work with people from Spain and then from people from Japan and Korea and stuff like. And for sure, like to transfer your vision, it's completely different. Probably the approach to different. And we are talking now about this, like you were talking about the bodies involved in the creation, like we are talking about the destination. So how you guys like try to work with this kind of
Make them understand?
yeah,
Like how we make them understand?
because of course it can be the same thing like with dancers from Italy, from Japan, from
Like the way you communicate,
Yes.
how you say things, how you even physically interact with people.
Oh, wow.
like
that is-
all the aspect involved in
Oh my gosh, it's just
like,
it's so different from culture to
and
culture.
I'm pretty sure it's like really hard to do something like this.
Yeah, I think you need. I think there's a lot of people who do it. I think it's really difficult to do it well. No shade to anyone, but
No.
but I do think it's really difficult to
I'm pretty sure
maybe
it's difficult.
I mean I don't know if difficult's the right word. I think it takes a certain sensibility to be sensitive to those differences in culture, right? And like how you're going to interact with a dancer from Japan versus a dancer from Spain. Like those two experiences are just vastly different.
Wow.
How you
Even
communicate, how you
sometimes-
touch, how you talk. Like,
Even in Italy, like it happens in the same place when
Yeah.
you go extreme north, extreme
yeah,
south.
like from region to region. Yeah, without a doubt.
So it's like Sweden and
Body.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Extreme. Sí. Adaptability, I would say. Like it's really a skill when you want to, like it has to come out of you with the will of like sharing in a sense of, I really want these people to understand more about my point of view, not really from an ego perspective, because otherwise you can't smush the mush. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I hear you.
it can't really go like softly onto people. If it comes out of an ego perspective, then it happens that it goes too rigid onto some
It
people.
cannot be, okay, this is me, you guys have
That's
to...
what I'm saying.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting though,
Yeah.
because I think in many dance realms, the idea of like a deity like choreographer is always used. Like if you go to many ballet houses or even contemporary companies, like this idea of like the choreographer and they're way up there. And the way they talk to their dancers and the way they deal with people is like that.
Very weird.
It's very
Yes,
hierarchical,
absolutely.
very like I'm up here and you're down here. And I think like in our practices, I'm guessing like we're way more
Soft.
not just soft, yes, soft, but also like we try to see people on the same plane. We try our best to do that. And I think what we do is we really try to be as transparent as possible. And
I don't think we care about the role. We care about the art, maybe. We don't focus
Yeah.
too much on... I'm saying we just because I
yeah.
feel like it's the same wavelength.
Sure.
But it's probably the reason why we're doing that is not for me to be Fla and for you to be Larkin. It's rather, wow, let's build this cool thing together.
Yeah.
I love to dance. And I really know that some people see it in a different way. Then there's like the very much athletic approach. And then there's like the very, this is my voice and I'm going to say whatever I want to say. So all of the results are very different. That's why
Yeah.
there's different art at the
Without a
end.
doubt.
So
Yeah,
it's
I-
a good thing on the side. But I feel like, coming back to your question, that is something that is noticeable if what you want to do is find the blend between you and whoever you're going to work with. Otherwise, it's not a blend. It's respecting.
The role.
Not
No,
respect.
I don't think you obtain the same result, probably.
No,
Or
no.
I mean, probably you can do like, okay, this is me, you guys, you have to work like...
I think like
But probably the result is going to be completely different.
without a doubt. And I think some really incredible art has been made in that way.
Yeah,
right?
that's what
and
I'm
I think
saying.
that's okay. That's anyone's prerogative to make in whatever way they want. But I think, at least for myself, my interest is in creating art that communicates an intimacy and a sensibility of like humanity.
Yeah, of course.
And
Probably depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
and I think
totally.
like in order for me to communicate that sensitivity and communicate that humility and honesty,
You have to be that.
I want to be that, right? Like,
Yeah.
which is, it also doesn't always work in your favor. Like, I think sometimes directing from up here,
It's better.
it helps.
I
like,
know.
and it's when you come down, not down, I shouldn't say down.
But I understood, I
When you,
think.
when you meet people where they're at, I think like sometimes it becomes harder to lead in that way. And, oh man, I love this stuff because I think like dance is so specific in this way because we're not just making art, we're also learning so much about communication, about leadership, about community. And I think for us, our goal is always like showing that intimacy and sensibility and humility. And I think in order to do that, I like to be as transparent as possible, even if that doesn't work for some people.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So I think like the probably the key word is to be. I like the word transparent because like it helps you. I mean, I'm pretty sure like you were saying there are pros and cons in this.
Yeah.
Because like leaving your leading position for sure has pros, of course, because people will respect you no matter what, this kind of stuff. But like probably the connection is like lower, I think.
Yeah.
And working like one-on-one, like at the same level with your dancers probably will give you way more connection.
It's another type of
Yeah, but the
connection.
risk probably is that maybe someone is not ready for that kind of connection and will like, I don't know if not respect you in the room is like the right word, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Probably. So I don't know. Maybe this is like the pros and cons of the two approaches.
Yeah, it's just different leadership styles. And I think I don't think either is better or worse. There's probably some data about what works more efficiently and effectively in what situations.
We don't care about data, or we care.
I mean, I care about data. But I also really care about how I feel. And
I like it. I like this a lot.
and when I'm in a room, I think when I've been in a room and someone's directing and it's like, it feels like this. That doesn't feel good to me.
I see. I understand.
To me, yeah.
Do you want to add something or like?
No, I'm completely there.
Boom.
Okay.
Blob.
Okay. So next question is like a little bit more.
Controversial?
No.
Joking,
No,
joking.
No, like me related a little bit.
Okay, let's go.
So.
Okay, Queen.
Sorry.
Okay, Queen.
No, so I was thinking like something like this. 2024.
Are we sure? No. Sorry, joking. Leave me alone.
Okay. And choreographer, dancers, room, moving, bodies, blobs and stuff. But there is also a lot of stuff that we can use within our dance. I'm talking about technology.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So how you guys like approach to this kind of thing? Like I really like the evolution choreography. I'm pretty sure like not has probably, but can really go through technology
Without a doubt.
nowadays. So you guys pro? Are you guys not pro? Are you guys like?
Can you give me examples? Sorry. Because I'm scared that I'm going to go too far.
Okay. For example, using like making your dancer play something, music, or using weird lights, like LED lights in your choreography, like anything that is technology related.
Like
You can
videos and all of
actively
that.
use in choreo or passively use in choreo.
Okay.
So they can hold like LED sticks and you do stuff, or you can just put LED sticks around and they stay there and they
Okay, I
dance
get
around.
it. Just the blend of these two things.
Yep. So you guys want to start?
I'm both a proponent and not.
Okay.
So both. I think like I love using technology. I love learning and like creating things through technology. I just started using Touch Designer, which is like a node-based programming tool, and trying to use that in my movement and with my video. And I love like researching and learning stuff like that. Also, like we just finished, me and Son of Cloud, who's a musician who I collaborate with often. Me, Son of Cloud, and this other musician, Derry, we just finished producing the show with Project Home, and we use an app that John, one of the musicians, he created. And every audience member during the show will log on to the app that we've created, and we can control their phones during the whole performance. Yeah, so the audience can like play music, like they get to choose what sounds are made, and all of the music like correlates with the music that's being played. We can like play extra footage on their phones. We can like play sounds, and I think like I think you can go one of two ways. You can go like completely opposite and like analog, which I also love. But I think there's a lot of power in leaning into the use of technology. But I think both are valuable. I think both are valuable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
La?
I would say my own imagination really doesn't go there. And that is something that I'm trying to integrate. Because I'm very old school. I'm pen and paper. I am
I feel
really,
you.
really, really old school in a sense that I just grew up that way. And I'm trying, because I love what I see whenever it comes out of someone that says, look, this is my idea. I'm like, fucking cool.
Yeah.
My brain would have never thought it.
Sure,
and,
sure.
And I feel like I have really little knowledge of like how to get inside of my system and pour out something that wouldn't be me copying a logic that I saw in some other thing. You know what I mean? I think it's going to come because eventually I am absolutely open to that. I just feel I'm in a stage where I really appreciate what I see, and I am slowly getting knowledge about the possibilities with things that I already saw in like many years. Let's say it's not like newer technology, but it's like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I would say like it's just a matter of not seeing myself in the picture. If I see myself in the picture, I still have some resistance.
Okay.
But because I really it just doesn't come out of my brain. Not necessarily wanting to stick to my structure, but I feel like I need more, like even around me or like the environments that I usually work in are maybe not as full as I would need for them to like get inside my system. It's like tasting new cuisine the first time and like trying to get a sense of
What it is.
It's not like my first time at Chinese restaurant. I can't say I love Chinese food and because Chinese food is this and that. It's more like I didn't expose myself too much to the variable of putting it in work. But whenever I see the result, like let's say all of the AI things that are coming out, some of the AI things are so extremely powerful and the possibilities are infinite and the visuals that come out are just wow, like this is extreme. But the fact that someone's brain thinks, let me make a footage of these hands, my natural hands moving, and let me put this in a computer and make these hands octopus
Tentacles or something.
Yeah. The fact that someone's brain says that is incredible to me.
You're like, my hands are good enough.
But sometimes I'm just like, I wouldn't have thought that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just there.
Yeah.
Like I'm right there where I see the result, but I don't understand the input because that's not natural for me yet. But I love the possibilities, and I really don't believe in, it's scary because technology is gonna, what the fuck? I really don't believe that is actually what's gonna happen. Come on.
You guys want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this really random. It's not a random idea, but it's an idea that I've been throwing around, and it has to do with AI. And when you go to the grocery store and you purchase lettuce that's organic, it has a stamp on it that says it's organic, right? So I created this. I'm going to show
I'm
you.
already laughing.
I created a brand called Artificial Intelligence Free, and I like made a brand name for it, and like so my hope. This is like my little experiment that I have going on. My hope is that like in the future, people will like make something, but they won't use any AI because I think the more technology that we use and see in our world, the more we're also going to want the opposite. The more we're going to want to be in a room with humans and just like...
That is why I don't believe that the end is robots.
Right.
I feel like the end is everybody in a field eating fucking plants.
Homemade.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, just...
Yeah. My goal is to like I want like... It's just a stupid little experiment, but I want people to like put a stamp on it.
There is a lot of people working on this because AI is carrying the shit out of everyone in this moment.
Without a doubt.
And so I think there is a lot of people working on like trying to, I mean, not put a stamp on something that has no AI in it, but like trying to figure out how to separate what is AI created and what's not.
Yeah, without
what
a
is
doubt.
not. So I think it's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's like
it is.
it's just
It
like
is,
a
it
little
is.
experiment, you know, like, and I'm trying to make like a free library of like stamps, pretty much.
Yeah.
And if you've made a piece of work, it's just like
You can,
honor it.
like,
you
say-
can go take it and then put it on your at the
Yeah.
end of in your credits or whatever.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just as silly because I'm a proponent of both. Like I love the use of technology. I think AI is interesting and awesome
Yeah.
and cool, and I'm trying to work on both sides. But I also think like
We want to separate
I
it,
want to
right?
not always, but like I kind of want to know.
sometimes clearly.
Like, I want to know if you
Yeah.
wrote everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
know
yeah,
if
You know, there are tools now that they can tell you if like a text
Sure.
is written by ChatGPT or not.
But I
and
like
this
I
kind
like
of
the
stuff.
concept of making it clear because of course there's like out of the whole cake there's some portions of it that are
Yeah.
you know like using the technology but taking the credit
Sure,
behind
sure.
of it, and it's very like it's a gray area
Yeah.
that
It's-
is
for
not
now,
really
For now, it's
yes
a
of
gray
course
area,
of course
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
and like for how fast things go in
Yeah.
that sense I don't think it's going to be
I think probably like
a
everything.
long life for these people but
Yeah.
Like everything, like it's scary because it's really new, and you can do like a really good use of it, or you can do a really
Yeah.
bad use of it.
I just feel
So
like-
probably
some people look at things from like a more superficial point of view. If you got deep into anything in your life, you know that is not the case. Like it's the world is not going to be ruled by AI.
no.
But I feel from a superficial perspective, people get frightened very quickly.
No, of course.
You know, it's like
But I think people is scared of what they don't understand.
yes.
Probably.
In that sense, I'm like, if you go deeper and like just a little deeper, then you see like you get a little bit more of a sense of what it is, and then it becomes cool to like relate to it. But people get scared so easily before getting the information. Actually,
Yeah,
like
of
it's so
course.
funny how we react to these kinds of things because if we would
I mean,
just
media
wait,
are not
you know,
helping,
just
actually.
wait a second, huh?
Media are not helping in this,
Oh no,
actually.
no,
to be
no,
honest.
You're right. It's not about. Yeah, you're right. It's not about people. It's just about how it all works. I think. Yeah.
Be
But-
afraid.
Yeah, I think that's something. You know, just a general, more like broad concept of afraid people are more controllable, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
like for us to have a certain opinion. It just happened for 3 or 4 years, but we're not gonna go in the COVID thing. But you know what I mean, no?
Yeah. But going back to like the question, like I was while you were talking, I mean, I agree with the approach of I can use that, but I also like without
I also
the
like knowing,
technology.
yeah.
Like because it's not something no, I don't like that. Just wanna go analog and do
yeah.
everything without technology. It's like, okay, I can take this in consideration and I can use it.
Right.
Or not.
Right.
Both are
Yeah.
okay. But like while you were talking, like I was, because I promised I want to talk about the blob again. You guys know, I'm pretty sure you guys saw that. Like it was a show on MTV called Pimp My Ride.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because I think technology
Exhibit.
Bro.
feels like Pimp My Blob.
Yes.
Like something like
Yes,
that. You can
yes.
pimp your blob with the I mean, it perfectly works without
Yes.
pimping it.
But what if?
But
we,
what if
know?
if you pimp your blob with technology?
What
I
a
love it.
crazy analogy.
I
I'm
love it.
sorry.
That's
It
great.
just came into my
No,
mind.
no,
How
I
did
love
you
it.
go there?
I have no
love
idea.
it. I
My
love
brain
it. I
is
love it.
weird.
But
so-
yes, I agree.
Yeah, I also agree. I think, well, I mean, I have an acquaintance who she works for Google and does a lot of work in AI and she's a dancer as well, and she's been trying to I've been seeing her working on like creating AI models for movement, which is really cool. Like I think it'd be really interesting to create an AI model of all of my movement, and then I can create a prompt and just see what
happens
it
if
would
that-
look like, what my movement would look like if blah 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 blah. So I think like pimping the blob, so to speak, would be. I think it's interesting, yeah, and I think any artist Well, I don't know. I think there's room and space for people to do anything and everything.
Yeah,
but
right?
but I think also it's good to try things. You know, it's just good to
pretty
try
sure,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the part where I feel I'm not scared in a sense of, yeah, let's just go
Right.
there.
Go
And
with
if
it,
we don't
yeah.
like it, whatever we have now, we will have it
We still
forever.
got
So
it.
what, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it's not that if I go there, then this disappears.
Yeah,
if
right.
that would have been the case, maybe I would have, but that's
And
not
I was
it,
also
so-
thinking about the hub that I saw with your choreo. Like they were like promoting the hub, like about the position, like the staging.
Oh, I
Hub
saw
with
that.
with the dots.
That was so funny.
And it was with your choreo. Like
I
they were like
know, I saw
promoting the
that.
hub with
and it
your
went viral.
Yes.
I was like, wait a
You know
minute,
what I'm talking
the
about,
heck?
right?
Absolutely.
That was so funny. I was like, I didn't use an app at all. What?
I was thinking, do I get any money for this?
right,
Like,
for real. I was like, do I get any compensation for this?
Like you guys are using my choreography, like in your.
So interesting. So interesting. Actually, I messaged them. They've never messaged me back. Thanks, guys. Sorry. They didn't. They didn't message me back. I was like, hey, you used my choreography. That was mean. You should.
You're
message me."
Right?
welcome.
At least.
At
Yeah,
least
you should like give credit where
pay
whatever.
me. It says the
It's
word
fine.
is pay me.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
Okay, I'll move on.
Boom.
Okay, so let's do. Let me think. Oh, I like this one a lot.
Oh snap!
Okay, we were talking about. Sorry, you're doing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I like this one a lot, and it's also since like Queen this time for this
Right.
episode.
Let's go,
episode,
Queen.
me related. No, me related just because I'm really sensible about this topic, like
Let's go.
music in choreography. Like you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Needed
You
more.
you a little bit like answered to this question before talking about the show you were doing, like with people can interact with the music and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but how do you guys approach with music and like, you know, there are that kind of choreographies that spends like weeks or a month, like scrolling on music and looking for the right music,
Yeah.
like to do a show, or like it's the movement that like goes through the music, or is the music that goes through the movement? Like which one is the side, or you guys meet in the center or something like this?
I think as I have progressed in my creative career and creative life, I've found that there's a lot more gray space in that in all of the approaches. I think in the past I've focused so solely on music that it has inhibited me. It's like kept my creative ability at bay. So like recently, like I'll make work without music at all. So I taught a piece the other day, and I made all of it without music and then added music later. And that was so helpful. It was so liberating for me as a mover because
I can imagine.
although I love the music and it's like such a mover and it's like the most important. It's so important, right? Yeah. But also it inhibits me. Like when there's music, I feel controlled by it.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, I want to explore my movement, my body without having an exterior boundary or wall or something like that. So, but I also like, you know, I work with this musician, Son of Cloud and Derry, and they'll make the music for us and then send it to us. And then we make everything based off of the music. So I think both can, you know, live, and they can live cohesively. But one thing recently that I've loved doing is kind of letting go of the music and not focusing on it so much, taking more of a like contemporary approach. I taught at this contemporary art school in Barcelona like a summer or two ago. And I was teaching choreography like to the music, like we always do most of the time. And they thought that was crazy because they were taught in a contemporary art school that like following the music is like cliche and not interesting and not artistic. And I was like, what? It was so hard, but also like a good lesson because it's like, oh, it doesn't matter that
You know,
much.
sometimes I go take contemporary classes to
Yeah.
forget the concept that the music is the only thing
Yeah.
that I have to focus on.
1000%.
Because whenever I get into class, the first 15 to 20 minutes are like, oh my God, how the fuck? Because it's so annoying to me that it doesn't have a logic in that sense.
Sure.
Then the more that I'm there, I'm like, oh, there is a logic. It's just not so strict
Yeah.
as I think.
Yeah.
So it's like a rough start, a rough meeting point around here, then
Yeah.
we meet around here.
Yeah.
And then there's this ending that is like slow, medium, long, short, you know, and it's like, wow, for me it makes my brain explode. But
Yeah, I feel
as a student, I think that is helpful. Go ahead if you wanted to.
Yeah, no,
I love this kind of concept, like, but I am really scared of something. Like, I would like to add something, but tell me if I'm wrong. Like, you get to this point after knowing music, working on music, and then you decided to.
Yeah.
You just didn't like, okay, I don't want to do music. Like, I'm just gonna go free.
I mean, I think
It's a process, probably.
Yeah, I think for the movement that we like and appreciate, and the world that we kind of live in, that's the path I've taken, and it serves me. And I also make music.
No, I'm not saying it's the path. I said it's
easy.
a path.
It's a path. It's the path that I want.
Yeah.
In my dance life and in my life in general, because I love music so much, and I just love it when they live together.
Yeah.
You know, and I get frustrated when they don't. You know,
Tell me about it.
yeah. Which is, and it's good when I get frustrated. It means I'm learning something. So again, you know, both can live cohesively, but there's definitely a sensibility that I appreciate. Which is like those little moments in the music and the movement living together. Yeah.
I had the honor, to be honest, to create music for a choreographer here in Italy.
Sick.
And it was for me like as a musician and as a dancer before, not now. It was amazing to create the music with a choreographer on my side, because I was in that moment, there was like a 360, creative process, because like he was creating choreography while I was creating music.
Oh, sick.
And
that is so cool.
This, parallel process, I think, is one of like the best feeling that I had lately. And if the choreographer knows what he wants, of course, because otherwise it's just frustrating.
Yeah, you're like, what do you want?
Yes. But like if you have like the right person on your side, like
Sure.
it's going to be amazing to create because it feels something in the middle between creating with no music, like so feeling free, and being like bounded by music.
Yeah.
So it's something in the middle. So you have a music, but you create the music. So depending on the movement you want to do. So I think that aspect is pretty interesting,
1000%.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Very cool. My brain is like exploding.
You should talk
the
more.
No, sorry. No, because I was actually like trying to. Wow, hearing different points of view is so cool. Okay, back question.
Macarena. It's whole day I'm singing Macarena to her. I don't know, for no
can't
reason
stand
at all. She just laugh.
You're a mess.
So let's move to the next question. Thank you so much once again. I'm loving this episode, to be honest. Like really loving it. Okay, I want to do this one. I'm gonna open. I don't know if in English makes sense. This you guys say open the Pandora vase.
Pandora's box.
Pandora's box.
But I like the vase, the vase
Because
idea.
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy, sure.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm down.
probably with this question, I'm gonna open the Pandora's box. But like, I don't care. I want to do it. So. No, it's not. No, I promise. It's easy. I promise. So, you guys are, of course, like really young, but you guys have your own,
Wait, how old are you? I don't know.
I'm 33.
Yay.
Which is, I just learned this, but that's the age of that was the age of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Why?
Whenever someone says in Italy, wow, this is going to be funny for whoever listens that is Italian.
Yeah.
But whenever you say, how old are you? And they go, 33. Somebody says, l'anni de Cristo,
Yeah,
which
and,
means
like-
Jesus' age.
Right. Everyone, I only learned that
Or
when I
next
came to
year,
Italy.
you can say, how old are you? You can say Jesus plus one.
Jesus plus one, yeah,
You
sure.
can go like this.
Wow, bro.
Okay. I shouldn't say that.
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
A
guys.
mess. Cut. Start again.
Okay, we are taking
Anyway.
a weird road. So,
No, sorry, I just didn't know.
Yeah, easy.
My bad.
The question is this: like, since you guys are still young, but like real working with in the community for a long time now, both of you, like, how do you feel about the approach? New dancer, like a young dancer that wants to be a choreographer,
Yeah.
and not a TikToker.
Hey, TikTok's
Sorry.
cool. Whatever, do your thing. Do whatever you want, dude.
No, I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm just saying they are two different things. That's it.
For sure, for sure.
And so, like, I don't, it's not advice, the word that I want to use, but like, how do you think, like, it's the right start? Like, what's there is a path, if there is a path, or there are multiple paths to do this thing? Like, of course, you guys can talk for yourself and
Sure,
for what
yeah.
you guys did, but like, how do you feel you guys want to say something to the new dancers who wants to pursue this kind of career?
I feel, in a sense, I feel we really can't give a real advice because these 15 years, at least for me, the world is another, like, it's like 150 years actually passed. There's many things that I could never think of that they are actually living and implementing in their daily life that I have no idea of. In a sense of possibility, how things work now, the fact that they are born with technology, so they relate to the external world with a huge other, like,
Yeah.
a chunk of things that I learned. I just learned how to use it. For them, it's just like the base.
So their
you
blob
know?
is already pimped when they are born.
Yes. No, yes, though.
This
So
analogy.
I think like
So good.
there's like a side of this story that is actually like, bro, I can't really help you because you need to learn how to navigate a whole different world compared to whenever I started to understand and whatever I'm seeing from my perspective. Yeah. In like a very, I wouldn't, you can apply this to anything, but in this specific case, it's really tangible. It's not like a slight little thing. It's like, it's hugely different.
Yeah.
So that is one part. On the other side, there is like a pattern that could work even if things are so different. Like, I still see a pattern of if you do this, this, and that, it's going to work at the end. The variables inside are going to be different because you have to see them from, you know, your unique life and whatever you want to arrive to do. But I feel the pattern that I would advise is take it slow, observe many things that are specifically the things that are not the first ones that you look at, but like the things that you could leave unnoticed, look at those with the same importance, like display everything around you at the same exact level for a very long time. And after having all of that around you, then start choosing and then start picking what is your route, what is your, you know, like there has to be like a beginning where everything is going slowly. You are working. You are like training, trying, but you don't necessarily arrive at the end that it's a pair of glasses. It has to be like, there has to be this, for me, this moment whenever you leave emptiness between you creating and the result. There has to be this like gap in time or space, or just not wanting to really grasp, which is the problem of this generation. They really want to, right away. I create, people have to like it. I put out something, people have to tell me something. Because of the fact that they were born with technology. So this like liking or not liking something is integrated in their life, and they can't wait for something to develop a process. Instead, to generate choreography specifically also on people. Like being a choreographer means knowing how things work on others. So it's so difficult if you think about it in that way.
I agree so much.
You know, it's not you with your body. I can
Yeah.
decide by myself. I don't care. It's like I have to see something and it has to be effective. But these are other bodies, other minds, other spirits. Like, it's not really controllable. So to have a grasp of how that can work, you need to understand timing. And if you don't leave this time and this like empty space between what comes out of you and what is the actual result, I don't know if you can see clearly. You know, things come really, really fast, and it's like fisheye effect, kind of, that you actually need to consider all of the variables and start understanding what is the end result in that moment specifically. But I feel like they don't have to really be rushing the understanding of what is going to be outside of me whenever I'm creating it. You just have to like really look at all of the things and take your time, slowly, okay, maybe experiment. And then whenever, after a long period of time, then maybe start saying,
I have it. Get to know your blob before using your blob.
yes, yes,
No?
yes.
For sure, yeah.
Because that makes you understand how you are at the end. And not taking time, it's not going to grant you a career. Like being fast in arriving somewhere, it's not going to grant you a career. It's going to grant you great moments in time, great peaks, for sure. But I don't feel like in the sense of building a career means like wanting this to last, but not even just for the career, for the satisfaction of,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
I love to do this and I want to do it.
The goal
As
is not the
long as-
career. The career is a consequence.
Yes, like I
course.
just want this to last longer. And for it to last longer, you just have to know what it's about. And so, yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Larkin?
Yeah, I think when I was growing up, my father did me a huge service, and whenever he spoke about young folks, he was extraordinarily positive about young people. He talked about young people being smarter than his generation, being more tenacious than his generation, more equipped and able to move through the world. And I think that sensibility and him communicating that to me really helped me feel good about me and my peers and the way we were headed and the direction we were headed. So I think like I also want to communicate that to people. I think that I want to communicate a sense of gratitude towards young folks who are tenacious or explorative or creative or just creating anything. And I think that people now have the ability to know way more at a way earlier age than any of us ever were able to do. I think they're able to navigate not only technology but the world in way different ways than I was
Completely different.
than I was ever able to. And I think that will serve them in a positive way. And I tend to be a hopeful person, and I think that for all the faults of our youngness, I think there's also a lot of beauty in fumbling through the world and falling through your novice years and your younger years. And I think that people are doing the best they can with the tools that they have, and they have a lot of tools right now, a lot of tools, which is so dope. Like, it's so cool to see young dancers. I think it's really cool to see young dancers just pushing, being like, okay, I'm just going to make a class for myself. I'm going to make a workshop for myself. I'm going to make an event for myself. Like, I really think that that's noble and really cool. And I also just commend anyone who's down to make stuff happen for themselves and for their community. So I think if I were to give anyone advice, I think the only advice I would give younger dancers would be to be patient, of course. Like I think that's important at any time in life, but also to work hard, to be tenacious, to have goals, to try to be humble, transparent, and honest. And I think most importantly to explore and just explore as much as you can. But yeah, I think, again, just coming back to that first little bit, like when I was young and my father spoke to me positively about the way me and my peers and my generation were moving, I think I want to do the same thing. I think there are things that people do that I don't always understand, but it doesn't always mean that that's not a way, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I like both. Like I'm on something in the middle because, like, of course, I know that with the, like you said, that I really think if you spread positivity, you will get positivity. So like the things that your father said to you, of course, made you who you are.
Sure, yeah.
Because otherwise, if your father would like, no, don't dance, this is not good, probably you would not be like
Yeah.
the person you are now.
Yeah,
So
without-
for
yeah.
sure, like spreading positivity is something like that it's always like good to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm afraid of the tools because they have so many and you can get a little bit lost sometimes. So that's the only concern I have probably about this thing.
I think like this is, man, I think like this is every generation's story.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like this for every generation.
And I
like I'm
think-
not saying like, no,
Yeah.
that's different. Mine was better or the other one was. No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to see like the new possibilities, like as
I think like anything.
pros and cons about it. Okay.
Sure. I think like anything, the only way we learn is by
Making a mistake.
making mistakes.
course.
And that's the only way that we learn things.
Maybe that's a good advice.
Yeah. So just
Maybe
do
like-
stuff, make stuff, try stuff, and
Yeah.
sometimes it'll suck, and sometimes it'll be awesome. And
I think
Yeah.
some young people think that the older people just got there for like some cool luck where they did all cool things and they did all of the right choices and they are the ones that don't know what to do. And I always try to remind them, like, guys, my last mistake was 1 minute ago and my next one will be in a second. Right?
sure.
It just goes that way.
yeah, 1,000%.
But yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, gracefully fumble through your life.
See, see.
At least try to make it graceful.
No, that's not the one.
Thank you, but kind of.
Kinda. So, guys, like, I want to do the last one, but it's gonna be an easy one. Cool. So, no, I mean, like, I don't know. You have to read about it. Like, if you guys have like something in the future that you really want to do, like, I want to do that thing. Like, I really want to do that thing.
Whoa.
Like, is there something that like you really like would like to do in this moment? Of course, talking about like the art you are doing. You can say no. You can say I'm
No,
completely
I-
happy about it.
I do
That's a
have
huge question.
yeah.
No, for me now, I do have one artist that I really want to work for,
Let's go. Let's hear it.
and yeah,
Let's go. Let's hear it.
he's a rapper. He just
Who
does.
is it?
He's from Italy.
What's his name?
Joliet.
Joliet. Come on,
Joliet.
hop to it. Everyone out
Yeah.
there, tag that person in this video. Let's make it happen.
No, but I feel like it's rare for me to relate to the music of my country,
Sure.
and it's really rare for me to feel an international hip hop vibe in music here. And he raps in like he doesn't rap in Italian. He raps in this dialect from Naples.
Wait, what's his name?
Joliet
I feel like I've watched a video about this guy.
could potentially be it because I don't know. He's kind of
He's a big deal.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, let's make it happen. Guys,
And,
tag him in the video.
Thank you.
Let's
for
make
the
it happen.
support.
For real.
But yeah, I see my dance relate to him. I really do.
Sick. Cool.
I really just do, and yeah, I don't know whenever it's gonna happen, but I feel like it could happen. I see it happening. Yeah. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
And I think that's the only thing that I could say right now.
Cool.
That is like really, really, really a cool idea for me. Maybe show more sides of my creativity in visual media.
Cool.
That's also something. Because I imagine so much and I have so little out. So I think like pushing on that side for more things that are, attuned to that to come.
Great. Cool.
I show the universe says, ha, I see. Good, let me go. Ha, If it's just in my brain, how can it see it? So, yeah.
Ha, fum.
Ah, boom.
Do you have something?
Oh man, there's
I
lots.
didn't want to put you like in this like position.
It's a
like-
good question. It's a good question. I think in the past I've been a person who's like created very concrete goals for myself, and I very tenaciously tried to make those goals happen.
Can you like give me a hand? Is it like touching you? Do I get this power?
Of doing that.
Yes, because I need some of that.
Yeah, well,
So I might put a hand on your shoulder and close my
Easy,
eyes and
easy.
just like,
Take it. You're welcome to have it. I think like I used to function like that, and it served me in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, and it also didn't serve me in a lot of ways because I just was so fixated on certain goals. And I think in my recent years, I've been trying to let go a little bit. And
wow, we are too like white and black. I love it.
Yeah, awesome.
Go. Sorry.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm trying to like just see what happens when I let go. Right, the way I try to kind of look at it, if we're talking about analogies, is just in the past. I was in a river and there was a goal and it was a rock, and I would like push against the stream to get to the rock.
Okay.
And I think I'm trying to just kind of float with the river a bit more now.
Go with the flow.
Yeah. There are things that I definitely dream of doing. Creating a feature-length film is one of those things. And also continuing to develop my relationship with Son of Cloud and Derry, the musicians that I've been working on the show Once and For All with Project Home. I want to continue that relationship just because the collaborative things that we've made, I'm so proud of. And I really, even with the show that we just created, like I feel so much potential in it, and it just feels good.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it just feels good, and I want to move towards those things that the way my dad explains it, just moving towards things that expand my life.
Okay.
Rather than like keep them like this. So
I love it.
Maybe not set so many specific goals, but yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
How about
very
you?
funny. Yeah, I was about to say, come on, Alemano.
Oh my God, it's going to be like really hard. It's true. It's a hard question. Like have
Get
many.
a million TikTok fans.
Huh?
Get a million TikTok fans.
No,
Just
no,
like
no. I'm like usually like it's not a thing.
Yeah.
I was talking with you about this. Like it's a motto that I'm following lately. That I know if I'm can help to Fla to translate. Like don't give people what they want, but give people what you think they want. So I'm trying to do things because I really enjoy things.
Yeah.
And not because I think that what I do is useful for, okay, I'm going to be famous or I'm going to do this.
Or it's going to produce a certain specific effect.
Yes, exactly. So I'm trying in every aspect of what I'm doing now. So teaching technology for dancers, organizing an event, or doing this podcast. Like everything is like, for me, motivated by, I really, really, really enjoy to do this.
Yeah.
And I hope that like this positivity, this energy that I put in things will reach people, even if people don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It will.
So that's what I'm doing now.
It absolutely will.
Bam.
Okay.
Blob.
Boom. And please give me some projectivity, for me even saying I want to choreograph for that new.
Yeah.
I want to do that in a while. I've always been like, and things happened because I love to be that way, but I also feel like I need to explore the other extent of these things because it's time.
It is time.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
really, really amazing.
See. So
I
interesting.
really mean it.
You have
Thank
like
Nice
a
to
crowd
know you a
clapping
little bit more.
button?
Of course,
Yeah, you
I
have it. You have it.
And I think it's time to put the.
Go for it.
Is this the closer?
Boom.
SmallTalks.